Well, this is my first video since Sandy hit us, and I can't measure things by weight. I lost my scale, so I'm going to do the best I can with just eyeballing what we have. This is going to be similar to chicken cacciatore, but with a little bit more. It's going to have onions, peppers, celery, tomatoes, roasted fresh garlic, and of course chicken legs and some white wine. And it's like all in one pot, easy to do. So let's get started. Now with the chicken legs, you could, well, we have to season them, so we're going to sprinkle some salt on one side. And I don't have any black pepper yet, but I didn't lose my hot sauce, so I'm going to put the sriracha hot sauce in there. And just turn the legs over and season the other side with salt. You don't want to use salt, don't. It's okay. It's up to the individual. And it can be, you can dust the chicken legs in flour, but I'm not doing it this time because all of the other ingredients are going to give me a moist, somewhat of a sauce, and I'm going to have pasta with this. So I don't want, if I put the flour on the chicken, it's going to act somewhat like a roux, and it's going to thicken the sauce a little bit too much. So I'll take some olive oil, extra virgin, and put the chicken skin side down. Now along with the chicken, I have a very high flame, as you can see. All I want to do is just brown the chicken on one side, then add everything else. And what I'm adding to this right now is only the garlic. I want to get a little roasted garlic flavor. Nice high flame. And I like to roast the garlic in big chunks, so when you bite into it, you get that nice. You have to love garlic to do this. And you want to put more garlic in there, go right ahead. You want to put less, it's up to the individual. This will take a few minutes, as you see. Now, if it was floured, it would have been brown already. But this is just the skin. And I could go skinless, but you know what? I need some comfort food today after all we've been through here with Sandy. So we're going to brown that skin up well and enjoy the flavor of the skin. So as you see, it's still going to take a few more minutes, so we're going to cut the film, and then when it's brown on one side, I'll continue. As you see, this is hot. A high flame like so. I've been standing here for a few more minutes, and you could score the chicken, meaning put cuts into it like so. It'll quicken the cooking on both sides. You would do that. That's a nice golden brown. Just a little bit more, and then I'll be turning it over and adding everything else. Now it looks like I have the color I want. So I'm going to lower the flame. Turn this off. You see the garlic has browned, so that's going to have a nice roasty flavor to it. Now we'll get everything else. You know, you cut everything up the day before, have everything ready, and when you come home, Turn on the flame, start cooking, and it's under an hour you will be ready to eat. And of course the pot of water for the pasta is cooking, or if you want to have rice with this. So everything will be ready at the same time. This way you don't have to wash off the pasta. I just cook it, drain it, put it back in the pot with a little olive oil, and the sauce will be made from everything that's in here. So now, since we added ingredients, they have to be seasoned also, always. You just don't add things and not season them. Because whatever flavor we gave to the chicken, all of this will just take it right out. So put a little more salt. Or of course, you don't have to put salt. And the only reason I'm putting salt is because you're watching the video and my wife is going to eat this. And even with the little bit of salt that I put on there, she will add more. If I was cooking for me without making a video, I wouldn't put any salt. I would put herbs and pepper or hot sauce. And we're going to add some ground oregano, because that's the only thing I have. I don't have any thyme or basil, but this will work. I don't have any bay leaves either. I would put a few bay leaves in there. Just worried about construction now. We're doing everything in the house, and but I gotta make a meal. Raise it up a little, since now there's a lot of moisture in there. Tomatoes give off juice, the mushrooms give off juice. I'm going to mix this up. The hot sauce I'm going to add later. And I'm going to cover this. And as you can hear, it's a relatively low flame because I don't want to burn anything in here. I just want the chicken to cook now. We'll cover it up. Set the flame even lower. And I'll come back in a half hour and check it. Now, as I was checking my recipe, I realized I neglected to put one item in there. And this is some Dijon mustard, like 1 tablespoon. Every time I make a recipe, I think about what things work with each other and have I done it before? And I go, no, I haven't. So in this type of recipe, I'm adding just a little bit of Dijon. And this is only, I just added this 3 minutes after I started. And already I like what's going on here. Gonna have a lot of moisture there. That's gonna be good for the pasta. Okay, so I lied. I said I'd be back in a half hour. But I can't keep my hands off of this. I'll come back in 15 minutes. That's what this is. That's nice. The tomatoes are broken up nicely because I sliced them very thin. I'm getting nice color there. Reddish, brownish. Good. It looks pretty. That means a lot. So we'll be back 15 minutes. Well, it's not too late. I had this cup of dry white wine sitting off to the side and didn't see it, so I'm adding it now. And we're going to leave that lid off. Raise the flame a little, let that reduce, because this was just a lot of liquid added to that. Figuring I have about 10 more minutes to go. And we'll leave it off. This will reduce. Chicken will get finished cooking. Oh, I got a piece of chicken by accident. Nice seasoning in there. My wife is going to love this when she gets home. Raise it even more. Because in the next 12 minutes I want it to reduce to the point where it's ready to be served and the chicken is cooked. So now at that point, how do you know when the chicken is cooked? What I do is I just stick a fork in there, I twist it a little, and see how easily the fibers separate? And I'm going to turn it over and give it another 6 minutes. To finish up. I'm going to take the chicken out, stir the sauce, look at it. If it needs to be reduced a little more, it'll reduce without the chicken in it. So in 5 minutes from now, it's coming out. Now, see how easily the fork goes in and comes out? Well, it does. You can feel when you go into it, you can tell it's cooked. You can cut the piece open also and look at it. So now we're going to take the chicken out. If you're not sure if it's cooked, just cut it right here. If you see a little red or pink, just leave it in there for a few more minutes. Now that's good. That's going to reduce a little bit more. Meanwhile, I'm going to cook the pasta. Then I'm going to throw the pasta in there and let it absorb all that flavor. Then I have cheese on the table, any kind of grated cheese you like. So let me cook the pasta now, and then I'll add it to this. And never rinse off the pasta. Cook it and drain it. Either put olive oil in it or put it into a sauce, but never wash it. Because whatever you're going to add to it later on, if you wash it, it doesn't cling because the pasta is too wet. Now that sauce has reduced perfectly. If you notice, it has body to it. The tomatoes broke down, the vegetables, no roux, no cornstarch, nothing. This will be very nice. And then you taste. At this point, you want to put more salt and pepper. You want to add some fresh basil to it. Be my guest. Or whatever herbs you enjoy. Just remember you're having pasta and chicken. So there are many things that work with this. Play with it. Throw olives in there maybe. Do I have some? I do. You know what else I'm going to put in there? Only because I saw the jar was open and someone had used the capers. Now I can't find the capers. But anyway, you want to throw capers in there? Go right ahead. Or maybe I saw capers at work. That's what I did. In a few minutes I'll be adding the pasta and then I'll make a plate and you'll see how pretty it looks. Now if you were here you'd see that this pasta is a little bit more than al dente. It's extremely firm. And that's because I plan on eating this dish in about 15 minutes. We'll mix this up. And there's enough olive oil in there and the fat from the chicken to make it look appealing. Nice and shiny. And then as you see, it's the right amount of sauce and ingredients in there to make it look good and taste good. And okay, so it's a lot of pasta, but guess what? Like I said, this is comfort food for me tonight. And I'm going to have 2 pieces of chicken along with the pasta, and then of course another plate of pasta. So the fact that the pasta is very al dente is good, because by the time I'm ready to eat, it'll still be firm and perfect. So let's, am I going to make a plate so you can view it? Well, there it is anyway. I'm going to shut the camera off and that'll be the end of this video. But you can see the pasta, the chicken, and you just put it on a plate and enjoy yourself. Now if you want to use red wine in there instead of the white, well, that's fine too. You want to throw a little vodka in there to give it that vodka sauce flavor? Play with it. Do whatever you want. But always enjoy what you're cooking.